Here's another problem requiring the point-slope formula. Uh, Although actually we can do this two different ways. One using the point-slope formula, and the other is going to use the slope-intercept formula. I'll do it both ways. All right. So what do we want to do? We want to write an equation of the line containing the points minus 5, 7 and 2, 1. Express the answer in standard form. All right. So let's do it two ways. First way is this way. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Using that formula. That's the point slope. And it turns out we can also use this formula as well. The slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Okay? Let's do it both ways. Let's call this the first way, since that's what we've been working on. And it's probably easier of the two ways. In any case, all right, so let's label this x1, y1. Remember, it doesn't really matter which one I pick. And this one, I'm going to label x2, y2. All right, so I start with slope. M equals the change in y over the change in x. And that, of course, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. A formula that you've retrieved from your eidetic memory, or you've taken it from a cheat sheet, or pulled it out of a book somewhere, which is usually what happens in the real world. In any case, so now it's plug and chug time, at least for the slope. All right, so what is the slope of our line? y2. What is y2? That's up here. That's a 1. Okay? So that's 1. Now we copy this. That's minus. What's y1? y1 is 7. What are we doing next? We're doing x2. This should have been a 2. x2 is 2. Minus x1 is minus 5. 1 minus 7 is minus 6. 2 minus minus minus, that's a plus. 2 plus 5 is 7. Okay, we are given 2 points. We can pick either point. So, since this is x1, y1, let's not make life any more difficult or confusing. Let's just plug them in. So I get y minus y1. What's y1? That's a 7. Equals m. Well, I just figured out m. Minus 6/7. All right, x. Well, x isn't going to change. Minus x1, right? And what is x1? Minus 5. All right. Now, I got to do this in standard form. Alrighty, standard form. I have to dip back into my deep reservoir of mathematical knowledge and retrieve another formula. That's this guy. Well, that doesn't look like that, does it? Y and x are not on the same side, which they are here. And that's just a constant. It's kind of a mess. All right, well, again, let's get rid of the parentheses first. We still have y minus 7 here. Minus 6/7 times x. Well, that's, oops, is minus 6/7 times x. And minus 6/7. Well, minus minus, that's a plus. So we have minus 6 times plus 5. That's going to be a minus. And that's a 1 here. So 6 times 5 is 30. 7 times 1 is 7. Okay, buckaroos. Well, this is on the wrong side. We need to put this over here. And we need to put that over there. Okay, we can do both of them. Let's see if we can do both of them in one swell foop. Let's add 7. I'm going to add 7. There we go. We're going to have to add fractions. Not a big deal. And let's add 6/7 x and add 6/7 x. I mean, I could do this one step at a time, but just we do this so often. This cancels. That's nice. So I have y plus 6/7 x equals. That cancels. That's kind of nice. Oh, and now I've got this fraction to deal with. So I have minus 30/7 plus 7, right? I'm going to multiply that by 7/7. 7/7 is 1. So in 1 times anything. It's not going to change the value. It's just going to change this to an equivalent fraction. And just to keep the numerators and denominators separate, let's add the 1 here. Okay, so let's do it down here. Sorry for the mess. So this is minus 30/7 plus, and don't forget the minus here, 7/7 are 49/7. And that's, they both have the same denominator, so now I can proceed to add or subtract, whatever you want, however you want to think of it. 49 minus 30 or minus 30 plus 49. Either way, it's going to be 19/7. So that equals 19/7. Is that, in fact, yes, this, oops, not quite. Good thing I checked. I have to put the x in front, and then the y in back. Alright, I can do that. That's just shifting. 6/7 x plus y equals 19/7. Alright, and let's do it. So this is what we got for the standard form. Let's see if we can get the standard form by doing it a different way, by using this equation. Nice way to check, too, actually, by the way. Well, alright, I'm going to assume I calculated the slope right. So I can plug that in. I get y equals minus 6/7 x plus b. I've got 3 unknowns, but I can plug in a known solution for x and y. I've got 2 of them to choose from. And let me pick this simpler one. It's simple in the sense that, you know, doing arithmetic with 2 and 1 is a little easier than doing arithmetic with minus 5 and 7. So let's set y equal to 1 equals minus 6/7, and what was x? 2 plus b. Okay? And now we have one equation and one unknown, so we can solve for b. So what do we have here? We have 1, and minus 6 times 2 is minus 12 over 7 times 1 is 7 plus b. Okay, so now I have to add 12/7 to both sides, plus 12/7. Okay, well, this is the same as 7/7, right? 7 and 2 is going to be 19/7. That's going to equal b. So now I just plug it back into what I had. I had y, equals m. What was m? M is minus 6/7. Minus 6/7 x plus 19/7. Alright, got to get that over there. That's not a problem. I just add 6/7 x to both sides plus 6/7 x. And what do I get? I get 6/7 x plus y equals 19/7. Oh my goodness, I got the same answer. So it doesn't matter which one of these formulas you use. You can use either one. You can use either this one or this one. Doesn't matter. In either case, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to solve for the slope. And then once you find the slope, plug it in a point, plug it in a point, find b in this second case. B pops out automatic. Well, actually, you don't even see b in this first case. And that's basically it. Okay, now if you got that, I'm going to really challenge you here. You should do 2 example problems. Example 4 really looks more like example 3. The only thing that's different between example 4 and example 3 is example 3 asks you to put it into the answer into slope-intercept form. This is asking you to put it in a standard form. And we put our answer into standard form. Right? This is ax plus by equals c. And this is the same thing, right? Now, and that's on page 246 in your book. However, the problem that's more like this, you're given 2 points and told to put it into an equation, to find an equation that fits through those 2 points. This says to put it in slope-intercept form. Well, okay, I mean, I didn't do it in slope-intercept form because we already done it in slope-intercept form. Get bored doing the same thing over and over again. Okay, so this was pretty straightforward. Again, I'm Luke Kane. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.